On this episode of the Turnbuckle, Daniel Bryan says he's quitting wrestling full-time after his AEW contract expires. WWE is blasted by Vince Russo for not doing enough to promote the WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view. And we get some details on when the deal was actually made for Kenny Omega to make his NJPW return. Folks, it's time to hit a pay dirt into some wrestling news because it's time for the Turnbuckle. Bryan Danielson recently made an appearance to talk about a variety of subjects on One Fall with Ron Funches. Danielson discussed his plans for the future of wrestling throughout it and how his full-time career would stop when his contract with AEW expires. Danielson said he doesn't have a dream scenario for my final match. He reportedly signed a 3-year contract when he joined the promotion last year. Bryan also revealed he's not going to be a full-time wrestler for much longer. No, I don't have a dream scenario for my final match. I would like to wrestle a match 2 weeks before I die, right? And to not know that it's my last match. That would kind of be my ideal situation, but I'm not going to be a full-time wrestler for much longer. That all said, I'm not going to be a full-time wrestler for much longer. When my AEW contract is up, that's pretty much me being done with being a full-time wrestler, but I like the way some people like Terry Funk and Jerry Lawler and those kind of guys do it, where they do it for fun, right? And don't do it all the time. They do it here or there, that sort of thing. But as long as I have fun doing it, and as long as I experience joy doing it, it's something I want to continue doing for the rest of my life. Now, I wish my passion was something that didn't cause me as much physical pain, because for sure, if I was really going to play the guitar, which I could be if I put enough effort into it, and if it brought me that kind of passion, I could be playing music or whatever literally the day before I die or whatever it is. I don't have any vision of what I want my last match to be. I certainly don't envision it being some epic match that everybody talks about. In my mind, it would be a match that I would just be doing at some local indie in front of 300 people that are just like, okay, I'm just going out and having some fun, and it just turns out to be my last match. He laughed. So that's kind of how I envision it. So I like that Danielson's kind of got this mentality of like, I'm not really trying to make it like a big deal, to be fairly honest with you. I'm not trying to like go all out, you know, I'm not trying to be on like the grandest stage of them all or anything like that, or like give the rub to some like young upstart, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna go to like an indie show and, you know, just arm drag here, arm drag there, you know what I'm saying? They made a cattle mutilation, and that's it, and that's my last match. That's not necessarily what you hear from many different people, although not many people share the same mentality as Bryan, you know what I'm saying? So you've got people like Ric Flair who are like, this is my last match. Okay, hold on. This is my, no, wait, hold on, wait. No shade to them, obviously, no shade to them, but I do like the idea that Danielson is sort of making it a little less, like, extreme, for lack of a better term. Like, he's not necessarily making it such a significant moment. He's just like, you know what? All I'm going to do is I'm just going to do my thing, you know, and if that just so happens to be it, then that just so happens to be it. And I like that. I think that that's really cool. Next, we're going to talk about WWE and how they were called out for not doing enough to promote the Survivor Series War Games. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently blasted the company for failing to generate enough buzz around the year's last premium live event, Survivor Series. He should know about this kind of thing because Russo is backstage for some massively historic Survivor Series moments. Survivor Series War Games will be held this year at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. WWE will abandon the brand versus brand concept in favor of the deadly War Game structure, which finally will make its debut on the main roster. The stipulation, which was initially introduced for the WWE Universe and NXT, will feature a women's and men's match. On a recent episode of Writing with Russo, the wrestling veteran revealed that with only a few days till the premium live event, WWE is unable to generate buzz for the matches. I mean, honestly, are we being critical by saying that? To me, that's somebody not doing their job. Like, is it critical for me to say that? It's like 10 days away, whatever it is, and I don't understand the reasoning behind it. I just don't. There are only 4 matches listed for Survivor Series, which takes place in less than a week. More matches could be added to the card during both companies' go-home events. The event will include a SmackDown Women's Championship contest between Ronda Rousey and Shotzi, as well as a singles match between AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, and a mystery member will compete against Damage Control, which includes Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley in the Women's War Games match. The Bloodline, led by Roman Reigns, will be the main event. They will be going up against the Brawling Brutes with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens in the men's War Games encounter. It remains to be seen whether more matches will be added to the premium live event during the upcoming episodes of Raw and SmackDown. So he's got a point, right? I don't understand why there isn't really a whole lot of build to the Survivor Series match. The only thing, okay, so here's my speculation. You've got LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. I know that that's been building if you haven't been noticing that. What else has been going on? You could do Gunther and you could do the New Day and Imperium, you know, minus minus Gunther, and then you could do Gunther versus Braun. So a lot of people, I'm just gonna sort of like shoehorn the next topic. That's not the next topic, but another topic. A lot of people have been getting upset because of the way that Gunther has essentially been billed towards Braun Strowman. So if you saw last Friday Night SmackDown, Gunther ran away very convincingly, might I add. He ran away very. He was not looking forward to being in the ring with Braun, and a lot of people were upset about that on Twitter. I took it as like Gunther is smart, so he's like, I know that Braun is like a really big meaty man, and I don't really want to get involved with him. But a lot of people didn't really take to that very well. At the time of this recording, Monday Night Raw is tonight, and that is the go home show for Survivor Series, and SmackDown is, Friday. Survivor Series is literally this Sunday, so if you're trying to like build towards the pay-per-view, you would literally have to do all of the matches on like Twitter, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot of build to anything really. And I mean, unless the War Games matches are both like half an hour, and then the other two matches are half an hour or something of that regard, like it's not really gonna be much. So I mean, unless they're planning on having an hour-long pay-per-view, then I mean, there's not really much else they can do. So who knows? I mean, I guess that means they're gonna announce like 3-4 matches on Raw and then 3 or 4 matches on SmackDown. So I don't know. Okay, don't ask me. We're just gonna have to wait and see, what the plan's gonna be, I guess. Finally, we are going to be talking about when the deal was actually made for Kenny Omega's NJPW return. Sean Sapp reported some details behind Fightful's paywall about what went into getting Omega back to NJPW for his first match under the company's banner in 4 years. Apparently, conversations started all the way back in the summer to arrange this meeting of the two megastars. After a 4-year absence, we're told that conversations started this summer about Kenny Omega facing Will Ospreay in New Japan Pro Wrestling. During our interview with Omega in June before Forbidden Door, he was in work mode and planting the seeds for a match even before his return ahead of AEW All Out. However, the match wasn't finalized by then. It was also reported that Rocky Romero played a huge role in facilitating the match and helping get it cleared. After all, Romero has been a huge factor in New Japan's global expansion and their positive relationships with numerous companies. It was also noted that Romero was in frequent contact with Tony Khan to make deals. Apparently, this deal was only finalized in the past 2 or 3 weeks. That being said, conversations between the two sides took several months. We'll have to see how it all turns out when Wrestle Kingdom 17 rolls around. I did not know that it actually took all the way back into the summer. That lets you know that stuff like this really takes a Kenny Omega could get bonked on the head and Will Ospreay could get like his mind zapped. Appear and they could still have a fantastic match with no ropes or turnbuckles or anything like that. So I mean, it goes to Series. I don't know what they're gonna do, to be totally honest with you. It's Raw, and then it's SmackDown, and then it's Survivor Series. I have no idea what they're gonna do. They literally have to do a build for 6 different matches in the span of like a week for 2 different shows. So we're gonna have to wait and see what they say. And Kenny Omega planned to be at NJPW